Okay, yep, we're on. Okay, we got hi everyone, or everyone. There's no one there, but anyways, I'm
Hello.
saying
I
hi
know
early to everybody.
I know people watch. That's why I get nervous because now I'm going, oh, people actually watch this. Like people do actually click on
They're
it
watching
sometimes.
us. I know we had up to like 6 watchers last week.
Yeah, I get when it was like when it doesn't sink in that there's watchers and you just think you're talking, I don't get nervous. But the fact that I think, oh no, people actually watch this, it makes me nervous.
I know we always get nervous whenever we go. Well, that's good though, because that just shows that we're passionate and we're facing our fears. So
Yes,
it's
very
not
true.
easy to do what we do. I don't care what anyone says. I give everyone kudos to anyone who I see go live and put their stuff out there. I'm like, good for you, because I know how hard it is to do this. But I guess we can just I'm gonna give it a few minutes and then it looks like we're good on let me go ahead and let's see if
There's
we
a really
are
pretty
live.
light on behind you. What
Huh?
is? There's a really pretty light on behind you.
Oh, back there. That's my diffuser. The back here, I have my diffuser on. I'm always running my diffusers all the time.
Yeah, it's very
For the
cool.
energies. Okay, let's make sure that we're on everywhere. And okay, it says that we are live on Facebook. Don't know why I'm supposed to share this, but this is what I was taught, so I share everything. Let's go to YouTube and see if we went live.
How's everyone's week been? I've had a crazy week. Every week seems to be a lot for me. Like every week. I just kind of stand still and it's everything that goes on around me, I feel like. And I just stand there and I just wait to catch the ball and see what the ball is and then how am I going to throw it back. But that's how I feel at the moment in my life. Is just I'm just standing there waiting for the next ball that's going to be thrown at me.
Waiting for the next boot to drop.
Yeah,
Um,
just what's the next one? What's the next challenge or lesson or yeah, experience?
Next human experience. Well, I guess we'll just go ahead and get started here, you guys. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Anne and Claudine's live. We just come in here and go live. Tonight we're going to explore the deep truths of our organs. They don't just work physically. They also store emotions and memories. And this is a topic that Anne is very passionate about. And I wanted to go ahead and do my little spiel that I have to do. Okay, we are here for entertainment purposes only, but we do take what we put on this live very serious. Okay, and it's only for the people who have the ears to hear it and the eyes to see it. We talk about everything and anything that is energy. We love energy and we get it. And we like to talk about anything that is human and not human. And with that, it has to do with, we do talk a lot about health, healthy things, things that we do for ourselves, because that's part of our spirituality. Please do not associate us with modern day social spirituality or, yeah, right, yeah, modern day, right? Is there another word for it?
Yeah, I guess
I
so. I
Yeah, I
don't
don't know what
touch
yeah,
with
huh?
that. I don't stay in touch with like what is being put out there on the spiritual in the spiritual aspect, but when I do see it at times, yeah, I know what you mean, like that modern day spirituality, like some of
And
it.
New Age spirituality is another
New,
title they give it.
yeah,
We are our spirituality is different, okay? And we don't give up our power to anything. And that is one of our kind of our mottos that we live by, you guys. So we are just two females who like to come together and talk about our anecdotal evidence of medical things that have happened to us and how I've helped people. Okay, we are not doctors, we are not nurses, you guys. So I got to make that disclosure. I just have to do this, and I have to do this every time we go live to protect ourselves. I do have a business in doing this. I am Claudine. I am the creator of Elevated by Claudine. I help transfer people off of pharmaceuticals, street drugs, alcohol onto plant-based medicine. I am a dosing specialist, and I am so much more than that. I do a lot. I really help people get to the root and the trauma of their physical and non-physical elements. And along on this live, I have my very dear soul sister, Anne, who we have been working together now going on 6 years, and she's in Australia, so we get her perspective. She doesn't know much about Australian medicine either, just as we don't know shit about Western medicine. But anyways, I'll let Anne do her little introductory like I do every week, and she'll let you tell you a little bit about herself. And she's a very wonderful, amazing energy reader for sure.
Oh, thanks, Claudine.
You're welcome.
She's so sweet. I'm Anne. I work at a Thai restaurant over here. I live in the Gold Coast in Australia, which is a very beautiful place. Lots of tourists come here. There's a place called Surfers Paradise, so that's quite popular from like 20 plus years ago. So because
You're
it's
so
this
lucky.
town. Yeah, but we have been getting a lot of rain, and our beaches are not looking very good these days.
Oh,
Yeah, the water, the shoreline is definitely creeping up, like up the beach. So the beaches are really messy like these days, that whenever we get like a high tide or king tide, or our water is coming up really, really high, and it pushes all the sand up, so it wrecks the beach like that. But it's beautiful. It's the ocean. It's the wild ocean, and it does what it wants. So, you know, it's cool to see, watching the ocean coming closer to land than it ever has in, like, 22 years I've been here. But yeah, so anyway, that's where I live, the Gold Coast, and I am a very good energy reader.
she is. She's the best at it.
it
I think so.
Yeah, maybe. There's a lot of good ones. There's people who can do a lot more than I can. Like, some people can, like, contact um like they can contact their a person's loved one more, like, straight away, or at least they say they can. Whereas I don't find I can do, like, for me, it has to be whatever comes. I can't sit there and, like, say, oh yeah, I'll definitely be able to do that, because I don't know. I could go into that room, or I could go into that space and do it with you, and I'm just coming out going, yeah, no, no, sorry, nothing happened there. But then other times I'll just get, like, so much. I find, like, as I'm understanding it better, the experiences I have are so much more, they're so much more exact, and I know what's happening, and I understand it, and they're happening more regularly, so, which I find so much fun. Like, especially people's past loved ones, when they come through for messages for their loved one. It's like, and they will always do something or give you something in that dream or in that vision, to where the relative can know, like, oh, that is my relative, because you don't know that. Like, that's something I've never told you. So they'll always do something like that, that makes you go, oh, and the loved one is always so happy, when they get their information that their loved one's there, and they've given them a message. So it's
I
always a nice.
know. I think that is so cool. And you always know things that they're like, how did you know that?
Yeah.
Like,
But
you,
that's
no
but
one
that's
would know
how
that.
But
Yeah.
that's how true I feel like, for as a psych if I never like psychics, like, whenever people be like, "Oh, I go see a psychic," I'd be like, "Ooh, like, don't see a psychic. They're liars." Like, that was always my impression. But I think, like, a true psychic who's truly connecting
Mhm.
on that level, is truly connecting with that spirit, they will get something that tells the person, the human person that they're helping, that that is really that is really my relative, because I don't know you, and that is something that you would not know in a million years. Like, you can't Google it, you can't read my mind, I haven't said it. So, it's just that giving them that little check of
The
like, yeah,
validation, yeah, the
really
validation.
being validation
Just like
for
you did
sure.
recently with me when you asked me if there was a picture of me with my dad with a car.
Yeah.
And it was so funny when you said that because I got this vision of this picture and I believe I'm wearing a little yellow dress. And and my
You're
dad's
wearing something
sitting
really
down, like he's
girly.
sitting down, I'm in his arms and he's like not, squatting down and I'm like next to him. And in the
Yeah.
background, I'm almost positive my grandma's Cadillac's in the
Yeah.
background.
I see an old kind of like thickish type of car, like, but an
Yeah,
old, really know it's an old car, like one of
yeah,
those
real
nice,
long and
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that
And
was funny when you said
he
that.
shows me, and I saw this when you were speaking about your dad to me. This picture just kept flashing in my head, and then you go, oh, right as it's flashing in my head, you go, oh, my dad got me right into cars and everything, and I'm just like, of course he did. That's why I'm seeing this picture. But then I'm like, then I keep seeing, and I'm like, no, there's a picture that he is telling Claudine to go look for. And you look for me in the picture, I see your dad, and the way you get shown to me is like, whatever you're wearing, you look really girly. It's a girl, like, it's real pretty,
Yeah,
girly type
yeah.
of outfit. And I can see that you're youngish, like you're not a teenager, you're youngish in the picture.
Oh, I'm a
And
baby, and my dad died when I was 3.
there
So
you
all the
go.
people I had with my dad I'm really young.
Yeah. Yeah, that
So
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there,
That's
because
so cool.
Nova asked me today, or yesterday, she's like, oh, how does it work with that stuff? And it's like, it's very visual. When like, you get a flash in your head, and you can literally see the
Mhm.
picture. Like, certain points will be really animated and pushed out to you in the way they communicate. It's so interesting. I love it. It's like you're discovering your own mind when you have something like this happen, and you're just discovering. It's like, what?
You
To
have this
like,
whole vision. That's how I have a whole entire vision thing that just goes
yes,
by me like a little movie, and I'll be like,
yes,
"Oh, okay, all right." Now I'm not a medium like you are. I have had some pretty
similar.
cool. I've had my own psyche little things. Remember that one time
Mhm,
when I remembered that dream about Ponya and she was
mhm,
going to
mhm.
Mexico? Remember that? And
Mhm. Well, I
everything
think
I
we
said
all
came
have.
true. It all came true. Every bit of it came true. And I was like, whoa, that was one of my like affirmations. Like, oh, we all have a psyche, Claudine.
We do, Claudine. We do. I say
Hmm.
to everybody, everyone. That's why I don't like to go, I'm a psychic. Because I'm like, we are all psychics. We just don't understand how to tune into that part of us.
Yeah.
We all have different psychic abilities that are different to each other. Like, mine isn't like yours, and yours isn't like mine, but it's
Mm-mm.
still psychic at just different, like, ways that we get it, the way we experience it, the way we get told it. You can make medicine, I can't make medicine, that's a psychic thing. You still
Yes.
get dreams, but everyone can get it. People will go, oh, I've been dreaming about this, but I'm not. And it's like, this is what the dream means, but like, it's telling you something. So everyone has it. Everybody.
Everyone has it. I agree with you. You just have to be in tune with it. And it's different. Like you just said, I love that you just said that because every experience is different for me and for you with
Mhm.
the etheric world, the underworld, whatever you want to call it, and
Absolutely.
we're all different on how we interact with that and how well, I should say, intermingle with it.
Mhm.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
But we all have it. We all have it. Like, even my daughter came to me this week, and she's like, saying, oh, she's saying to me, like, that she, like, has these feelings, and they're in her gut, and like, she feels this, and it's in her gut. And it's like, kiddo, when your gut's doing that, that's something telling you something, like, you need to listen to those feelings. And she
yes,
questions it. She's like, oh, but I don't know, but I feel it in my gut. And, my boyfriend feels it in his gut, and we get sick and we have anxiety. It's like, when that's happening, that's your intuition, that's your spirit, that's your chakras. They're all picking up on something that your human mind is not aware of and it's not thinking. Listen to the gut. Don't listen to hear all the, like this is dangerous something like for most of
Your
us.
intellect will get you in trouble. Your intellect is linear. We have been trained to think linear. And this is what's so hard for these young kids. They don't, your daughter's learning this, what linear mind is and how we take everything. We take our God mind, we take our intuition, we take everything and we put it straight away into linear thinking, where we are taught to think step one, step two, step three, step four. Where there's these steps you have to have. So either you're going to talk yourself into it or you're going to talk yourself out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
And
just
you
what.
and you also will listen to what other people have said to you, and you'll throw that into your opinion also. So you're listening to also other voices. You're not just listening to your own voice anymore. You got the opinion of that person, you got the opinion of that person, all going into, making your decision of things. So
And
I
your
think.
linear mind, yes, and the linear human mind in what I call the intellect,
Mhm,
because that's what they took us out of our God mind. They stole that from us, and that's part of the
mhm,
brainwashing, the frequencies, and everything that they've taken,
mhm.
from us. And at this kind of, I was thinking about. I want to talk about next week about the biofield. I found that very interesting on that video you sent me, because the biofield, that you can't even. It's not even allowed to be put out on the internet or anything like that. The
Biofilm.
only Biofield is only talked about in the Bible. That's the only time I guess that word has been used out there. So I want to do, and it's also where you get synthetic telepathy. So I want to tap into that probably next week. I need to do some,
Biofilm is like what you have in your intestines and stuff from the parasites and toxins.
yep, 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 yep.
That sounds very interesting. I love hearing this kind of stuff. I love it when it's physical mixed with the spiritual, but it's a
Biofield,
physical.
yeah. So I guess what I've heard when I listened to it, it has to do with the ions and electrons in our body, and it is something that you've only heard from in the Bible. So I want to do a little bit. You know how you hear things and they give you those downloads, and I'm like, oh, I think I need to pay attention to this, but I don't know anything about it yet. I just got these downloads today, so hopefully next week we'll be able to, yeah, we'll be able to do a segment on that. Yeah, we'll see what spirit gets me.
Because parasites are spoken of in the Bible, and that was that thing I sent you, that some guy I follow, and he does all that type of like everything that's out there. The way he does it in his mind, everything that's spoken about, if it's not spoken in the Bible, he doesn't believe it. Like I talked about energy. Oh, energy, I can read energy. He goes, well, that's not spoken of in the Bible, so it doesn't exist. But parasites, he went and he did that thing, and parasites are in the Bible, and and us cleansing parasites out of our body is spoken of. Of course, it doesn't say clean parasites out of your body, but the way it's translated from the, and this is what I say about the Bible. Bible's like blueprints. They've given, it's a little tiny bit of blueprint that they've given us. They've taken little excerpts from all the stuff that they have, and they've given us this like sad little book, and like, oh, there you go, there's your blueprint. But in there's lots of things, it tells you not to eat pork. Why not eat pork? Da 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 da. So and
Yeah,
parasite is in the
the
Bible.
Bible to me is just the playbook for Lucifer.
Hello,
We got
Nova.
Nova. She'll be back. Good, good. I'm glad Nova's going to be back. And you guys, when I go live, I get so excited and I forget to turn on my messages. So if it takes us a minute to get to the messages, I'm sorry, it's me. I just get so, Ann and I, we still get very nervous when we come on here.
I got really nervous today for some reason. I'm not sure. I was just so nervous. They stole our birthright. Our birthrights are to be free.
Yes, freedom. We were going to talk a little bit. Oh, look at this. We've got both Victors in the house today. Look at this. Love your dame self. Yes, folks, you heard it from Victor. Love your dame selves, okay? Do it. Just do it. Okay, so what we were going to talk about today, you guys, like I said, we didn't have anyone on. We got 4 people right now, and we've got a full house for us.
How exciting.
Let's put the pressure on us, right?
Yeah, we'll
Okay,
be fine.
so we are going to talk about organs, you guys. They're not just physical, they're also store emotions and
Yep.
memories.
Yep.
So, and we're gonna go about this in different routes. Okay, I we're gonna talk a little bit about the natives, what they say about all this stuff. Okay, their systems. We're gonna talk about Chinese systems, and then we're gonna talk about Ayurvedic systems. Okay, and what their philosophy is on the organs. So this will be really interesting. And to me, that is true medicine, you guys. Those are the systems that have practiced the real medicine,
Yeah.
not
They-
this
They're about
pharmaceutical stuff.
they're about healing the body. Those medicines are about healing the body, helping you learn how to heal your own body. Western medicine is not about healing the body, it's about how to treat the symptom. That's the difference between white people medicine and Chinese medicine and the other medicine that you talk about. All that old medicine, Indian practices, everything. They teach you how to heal the body. Western medicine teaches us how to treat the symptom. That's what when they go do their degree to learn how to be a doctor, they don't learn in their textbooks how to heal a human. They teach them how to work with medicine to work with the symptom. That's it. So
Yep, yep.
that's
They teach you how to feed your parasites.
yeah. They teach you how to like keep yourself sick.
Yes, how to stay sick and to get sicker and to get worse because that way they have more control. And then that's just the way the system works, you guys. That's the dark system. We talk about that all the time on here. That's just we're in a real war. You guys are gonna hear me say it again. We're in a real war. The one war, the number one war is going on inside of you, and then you've got a war going on the outside of you, a spiritual warfare. It's real. And those are the type of spiritual stuff that we like to talk about and get into because that's a real spirituality right there. And Anne's right. If you're going to go the Western medical route, or if you're going to go to the Australian medical route, or whatever your medical is, because I know we've got a couple of people from different countries on right now, um, it's to put a band aid on it. It's to put a band aid on it or to cause more side effects from the pharmaceuticals. I myself believe that the pharmaceutical companies are practicing witchcraft on us.
I believe so too. I think
Yep,
so.
yep,
I think
yep,
so.
yep.
I think it's all part of that Freemason and all that kind of stuff. I think it's right all back from there.
It's all
And
about the money. It's all about
yeah.
keep us medicated, keep us stupid, and
Hmm.
keep us working for them because we are the true gold. You guys have heard me say this before. We are the asset. We are the currency. We are the gold. We are God's gold. And that is
And keep us
how the
weak.
financial system is actually really backed. Okay. Unfortunately, I will make this claim. I think I know how the system works better than the darkness does, the cabal. I think I have a better understanding of how to balance a checkbook than they do. You have a better um, uh, idea of how to balance how to balance your checkbook better than they do. I mean, come on now. The debt ratio just speaks for itself. Holy moly, who gets himself in that kind of debt?
I don't
Just the
know. Is it
cabal.
even real money? That's what
It's
I
not. No, it's not. Money is the root of all evil. That's all it is. It always will be, always has been. But we got to wake up to this, you guys. So yeah, let's start talking about it. Let's get into it. Let's dive into here. Where do you want to start? You want to start with the liver?
Sure. We can start with the liver. I have like
Okay.
of what they all are.
And I'll try she'll do some talking. I'll do some talking. We're going to be going back and forth here. And you guys, please chime in with your comments. We've got spiritual warfare indeed. Okay, we've got Victor and Victor who are now buddies and they're talking. And I am so happy about that, Victor, because I do believe that you can help Victor Turnage a lot. He really needs help with channeling that anger that he has. They might shut Ralph Smart down too. They want to silence us spiritually people. What's Ralph Smart?
We don't watch a lot of
Victor,
stuff.
tell us, who's Ralph Smart? Explain to us.
He'll
Oh,
tell
they want
us.
to silence us down. They want to silence us down spiritually. Heck yeah, because our light, man, we are the light. We're here to do in the work. People who
Mhm.
watch this show, people who watch our lives, you guys are the ones who know you are awake. You understand this because most people, I understand that if you're new to spirituality, Ann and I might not be your cup of tea. I get that because we talk about
I
way
go right.
different stuff. Yeah, wait, it's gonna go over your head. So I do say that we are here for the little bit more advanced spiritual people. Like I said in the opening statement, we're here for the ones who have the eyes to see us and the ears to hear us. Okay, so let's go back to liver. So that is where you have you hang on to your anger and your creativity.
Mhm.
What do you want to say, Anne, about it?
Well, that's exactly what it is. That's the one that processes your anger. So your liver is number one. In my opinion, for everything else to run smoothly, your liver has to run. It has to be running smoothly. It has to be running healthily. It has to be not toxic. It has to be rid of parasites, flukes, all that kind of stuff. Your energy depends on your liver, your your emotional well-being, even your hormone balance. It's all based off of your liver health. So if your liver is not in balance and is off and is sick and has anything, has flukes and parasites just riddled in there from all the sugar you eat, you are not going to be your best self. Your whole body is going to be toxic because your liver is toxic. And that's how I see the liver. You're going to get a lot more emotions of anger. Your temper is not going to be as good if your liver is not in balance, because that's what the liver does. It creates, it's where that emotion, that anger, when you feel angry, your liver is the thing that's pulsating and is sending and is heating up and making all that, your temperature rise and your heart starts to beat. That's all coming from your liver when you get angry. So yeah, and then the more your liver is sick, the more it kind of sets off, and it's like rinse, it kind of just bounces off of each other. So you really want to take care of that liver. And I say this with so much conviction because it has been the biggest lesson of my life has been my liver. And that goes from heavy metal overload, from a pin I had in my leg, from a lot of psychological and different types of abuse throughout my life, through my diets and what I ate. And it just all accumulated, and my liver just went bang, and it manifested this health issue inside of me. So I know how important the liver is because I have had to learn it kind of the hard way in life with my liver, and that was on all aspects. That was cleaning it up. That was taking out all the toxins that had built up in there from having to take heavy medication because I, had a bad back, and that's what doctors were giving me, from abuse that I had experienced in my life, and processing all those emotions that were all stored in there. So yeah, I can
Okay,
talk for a long time about the liver.
yes, she can. And I just was looking on my phone right here, you guys, because I did give birth to an enormous liver fluke, and again I want to show it to you guys, and I just lost it. Hold on, let me find it. Um,
Liver flukes seem to be quite common. Like I feel like
they're
everyone.
very common. Okay, so okay, you guys, okay, I found it, you guys. The big monster one. Okay, I'll show that to you in a minute. Okay, so Anne was right. Oh, so the liver filters all your toxins from your blood. Okay, and like alcohol, pharmaceuticals. So your liver is, like she said, it's a detoxifier. It's very important. Okay, it's what makes everything else. If you have a healthy liver, you're gonna have a very healthy system. Um, it breaks down old hormones, like Anne said. It helps with the hormone system. Okay, and it neutralizes harmful substances. so they can excrete safely out of the body. Okay. And it helps break down the fat, the proteins, or carbohydrates. It does everything, you guys. It is your detoxifier. It needs to work properly. And the good thing about the liver, you guys, it's a fascinating organ. You know, if you cut off a piece of it, or if it's dead or something, that they can go in, cut a piece of off, and that will grow back. It grows back. It rejuvenates itself. So it's a
Amazing.
powerhouse.
Yeah.
Powerhouse.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and you know, and it stores essential nutrients like vitamin A, D, and E and K and all that stuff. All right. So that is what your liver is. And it also is where and anger is stored and creativity is made. All
Mhm.
right. And Anne was right. The one number one culprit that it will literally kill you. It will make your life, it can kill you. You can get all kinds of liver diseases if you have the liver flukes, you guys. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you a story about what happened with me with a client, a new client that I'm getting. And I think this is very fascinating. Okay, so I've told you guys my story about how I would get these twisting. It felt like you're taking a towel and you're twisting. You know when you have a towel and it's soaking wet and you twist it and you twist it. You guys have heard
Mhm.
me talk about that, and I'd always feel it really high up in my intestines and just way up in here, super high up, almost close to my chest. And this would
Mhm.
happen. I'd have a hard time touching my toes. I told you guys all this stuff. There was movements that I could not do because if I did it, I'd get in a crippling position because it literally is like having a Charlie horse way up in your ribs. And I have never met anyone in my life who's ever experienced this kind of pain. Ever, you guys. I went to the doctors. I did all kinds of tests, never could find anything. Okay. Now I know why. Because the liver flukes can camouflage to be part of your liver or your gallbladder.
Mhm.
They're very smart. They're very smart. And I'll show you a picture of the
They
big one
kind
that I
of
did.
grow on your. They almost look like they're growing as part of your liver.
Yeah, they'll grow like they're part. Yeah, it looks like it's part of your liver. They are some tricky things. Okay, so you guys, make a long story short, I have a new client. Okay, I met her yesterday. I was sent to her by the universe sent me straight to her. I was, and of course, because who I am, I was kicking and screaming the whole time. I'm like, I don't want to go do this. And then my husband looked at me. He's like, let's just go. So I go there and I get there and we're doing the business that we're supposed to be doing. And I'm like, okay, spirit, why am I here? And I see this gal in the front and she's playing a Tibetan sound bowl. And I'm like, okay, am I here for her? So I ask her, I'm like, oh, I love your Tibetan sound bowl. It's beautiful. And she says, thank you. And then we talk a little bit for a second, but nope, conversation ends. I'm like, okay, it's not for her. So my husband and I are conducting the business that we're supposed to be conducting, and we're just going on with the day. And then and all of a sudden I end up finding who the person was, and it ends up this person's gonna be my new client. She has a feeding tube.
That's sad.
Yeah, I know she's very sick, you guys. She's literally basically allergic to food. Anything and everything she puts in her mouth, she will throw it back up.
Mm.
She has been on this feeding tube for a while. She's not having a quality of life. She is just at her wits. And she tells me, this is what she says to me. And she goes, well, I've started a parasite cleanse.
Mm.
I'm like, you have? I'm like, are you using binders? Are you doing channels of elimination?
I bet she didn't know about any of that.
None of it. None of it. She's working with some lady in California. I'm like, none of this was discussed. I'm like, honey, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get sicker because
Yeah.
your body's going to reabsorb that. So, anyways, she calls me today to make an appointment, you guys. And guess what? She's had the same feeling as I have with the twisty.
Ah, she probably has
She's
flukes
got
and all that
flukes.
kind
She's got
of stuff.
flukes. Okay, so here's the fluke parasite, you guys. I've shown it to you before. I'm going to show you to it again. You see? That camouflages with the liver. Can you guys see it?
Mhm.
You see that?
When they sometimes when they come out, they even look like little specks of oats through
Oh,
your.
They can be
Pretty
small ones. The very first one that ever came out, you guys, was a little, I swear to you guys, it looked like a top of a mushroom.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And I kept looking at that. I didn't get a picture of that one. That was when I very started doing these detoxes. I did not know what it was. I'm like, I did not eat a whole mushroom. Did I like swallow a mushroom? Did I forget to chew it?
They come
And
out
did it come back
weird.
together? So that was when my curiosity. That was one of them. I'm like, okay. But anyways, so those ones live in the liver, you guys, and they will take over your liver, and that's what will cause fatty liver, liver of the cirrhosis of the liver, and all these other liver cancer, all of it. And these
Mm-hmm.
are the culprits. And so this is what you guys want to get out. And okay, so we're going to talk about the different systems of what they say about it. So um Ayurvedic, okay, so Chinese medicine, I'm going to read this part. Okay, I'll go Chinese medicine. Liver stores anger and frustration. When stuck, it can cause headaches, irritability, and PMS.
Mm-hmm.
Native medicine, the native stuff, our tribes, they say the liver is connected to our ability to see clearly and creatively. Imbalance leads to feeling blocked or stuck. And
Mm-hmm.
we know this because we've all been blocked or stuck, you guys, before, especially with materialistic things. Sometimes you get rid of some materialistic things and all of a sudden things open up for you, like getting rid of an apartment, moving to a new house, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ayurvedic, it's the Pitta dosha, fire element, governs the liver, and excess heat creates anger and inflammation.
Yeah, that's what I had. I had excess because my liver was like having to work extra hard to break stuff down, like everything. But that can be because you have a lot of fluke. So this is where I know that parasites will do this because I got my cat and I take my cat to the vet and it's not well, and the vet says to me the cat has liver excess, and I'm like, I know what liver excess is, so that means your is having to work harder. Why is it having to work harder? Oh, we don't know why, but here's some liver stuff. Take him home, expensive medication. I take him home, I'm giving him these liver tablets, doesn't work. So I think about it, I talk to you, and we go about it in a different way. And I think, oh, parasites. Maybe if I do a real detox of parasites for his liver and rid the parasite, maybe that's going to make his liver not have to work as hard because there's no parasites there, like, making it weaker. So the liver's having to work harder. Because I did the diet, I did everything, nothing worked. I went after the parasites. I took it as a parasite infection of the liver, got rid of the parasites. My cat's all better. So that tells me if you have a very big parasitic infection in your liver is going to go into liver excess, because that's what I think my problem was. Is I had lots of toxins from my metal piece in my leg, so I had heavy metals in my liver, of course. But a heavy metal environment is very um that's what a parasite likes, a heavy metal environment. So it made sense. I have a heavy metal environment in my liver. I've just got tons of flukes. I've got tons of parasites. Like they've just taken control of that liver, and now my body's in excess. And ever since I've gone after just trying to break down that in my liver, whatever I can, get rid of whatever kind of, I'm taking the same approach as I gave my cat. The cat was easier because it's a cat. It's so much easier to give them heavy stuff and really flush it out. And their body's just, they're made to heal real quick. But I'm taking the same kind of approach, and that's just like throw everything at cleaning that liver out and ridding it of toxins, ridding it of parasites, and let's see what happens. My body's getting a lot better. My liver is feeling a lot better because I had that same tight, like mine was so tight that when I would go to acupuncture, even they could feel like how tight, and they're like, you need to get in there and massage it because it's your fascia. Your fascia just seizes, and your liver's in excess and it's working harder, so it blocks, but it physically blocks too. And was so
Hold
hard
on
on
a
the.
minute. Hold on. We're being censored right now. I've got some crazy messages coming in from Victor. We're gonna have to use another word besides the P word. Let's just say that just say the P, okay? Yes, you
Okay.
guys, I have been getting censored big
Critters.
time by using the word the P word. So let's just say the P word, okay? They're censoring us now on this because you guys, we speak truth. They're on to us. So
The
let's go ahead and just say the P word. I'm
P
sorry,
word.
and okay, keep going on. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, so the P word. Yeah, so that's what I did. I did the same, took the same approach as I did with my cat, and it's all about making that liver as healthy as possible, and get rid of the peas, get rid of the critters, just flush them out however you can, but do it
Yep.
properly, because the problem is you can go after them to kill them, but if you're not flushing your body properly, if your pathways are not opened properly, so that means all your intestines, all your organs, they're all cleaned out so these toxins can flush out, and we're flushing them out. If you're not doing that properly and you're just killing them inside you, you're going to end up a lot more sick. And when I say a lot more sick, I mean a lot more sick.
We're
Like
sick.
your brain's going to start feeling like you're losing your mind, you're losing your memory. It's so foggy. You got to get this stuff out of your body. You've got to do it the proper way, because yeah,
Yes.
the after effects of them dying off inside your body, if it's not flushed out of your body in the proper
Hmm.
way, is not a nice feeling. I think that is what I experienced for the last couple years, because I didn't flush them properly. The pathways, look at my liver, was in excess. Like, it just wasn't, and I didn't feel good. Like, there were days where I would be like, I need to die. Like, I'm just do not feel good.
I'll be here no more. And
I know, and it wasn't
another,
mental; it was physical. I was just so
right.
tired. Like,
Because she's reabsorbing not just them, you guys, her body's that's what her body's doing, reabsorbing the host that they made, the home they made, and she's reabsorbing the toxins, and that is not good for your body. It's just like if you can't go doo-doo, if you can't make a doo-doo and you're constipated and you suffer from constipation, where do you think all that doo-doo is going, you guys? It just doesn't magically evaporate.
yeah,
It's going into the body system. It is eating it up.
that's why
So
you get fat. Like,
it's why you get fat. Yep, that's why, because it's the heavy the excess fat around your belly, which is from overeating, which a liver cannot detoxify because it's spewing out. It's just kind of like having a teacup and you're pouring your tea in there. This
yeah,
cup can only hold so much, you guys, and
yeah,
that's what causes fatty liver. Okay.
yeah, yep.
Yep.
It's
So
not good. If you
it's not
have
good.
if you have any kind of weights that's sitting around your belly that you just cannot get rid of, no matter what you do, that is your number one sign that you have some kind of fatty liver issue. Because any weight, if it's sitting up, up here in your lymphatic, your belly, that's, you want to tackle your liver issue. That is a liver issue if you can't get rid of that type of
And the
excess.
wayside will go down. Another thing, you guys, the liver is part is the reason why you have your blood clots too.
Hmm.
So if you suffer, or and I'm talking to a particular person here, you know who I'm talking to. I think that person knows because we're always talking about blood clots. But anyways, it'll make your because it produces proteins that are essential for clotting and when whenever you get a cut or an inner injury or whatever. But yeah, so your liver, get your liver cleaned out, your body, your blood will stop clotting. So which is very important.
Yeah, the
No,
liver.
I love, okay, now, okay, the dark forces are crazy attacking at the moment. You're right, Victor, they are. They're coming after me. They always do. Been shadow banned since, I don't know, 2000 and what, 2000, probably been shadow banned since 2017. I think that's when I had a politician, a low grade politician tell me, you're shadow banned. And I was like, I don't care. I don't even know what that means.
I don't know.
At the time, 2017, I had no clue what any of that meant. That's when I was fighting for cannabis rights for us. Um, Okay, so and then Victor said something. I always say bugs are bad bacteria. Okay. And this client that I'm going to be working with, you guys, supposedly all they've ever been able to tell her is that she's got some kind of bacteria inside of her. That's all they've ever been able to tell her. Some kind of bacteria. No answers, not the name of the bacteria, not how to get rid of the bacteria. What you're telling her, you've got parasites. So,
You got the peas, you got the critters.
oh, sorry, you got the critters. I'm sorry.
You got
Okay,
the critters in you. That's what we're gonna
critters. Yeah,
call
we'll
them.
call them
Call them the
critters. Let's
critters.
just say critters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that word. Um, okay, so
And the
oh,
critters and the
the,
critters are controlled by the archons.
exactly. They come from the archons.
And what I've heard is that the archons are who have been given rule
There we go.
over our planet at the moment. So it would make sense.
So we'll move on to the next organ, but I want to address what Victor said. That's what I have. I have trouble creating new music on the guitar, probably because you got a block in your liver. So that could be it. You might have something else that's blocking you too. It doesn't necessarily have to just be your liver, Victor, because I know you
I
eat pretty healthy.
No, but I think liver. I think Victor has a bit of a excess liver. I don't know why. I don't know what's doing it,
His
but
anger, his
his anger.
anger.
I think so too. But where is the anger coming from? Like, what's triggering the anger to where it's coming through him? Like, is that what's causing him to have those outbursts, or is it the liver's in excess so he's having those outbursts? I can't figure out which one comes first.
Well, it's either way. She's got the critters in there that are,
Yeah, that's what I
causing
think
this,
it might be. The critters that
the
are
critters.
yeah.
And in Chinese, oh no, we did the liver. Yeah, we're just gonna stick with the liver. Okay,
You
yeah,
might
yeah.
have like or
Okay,
something. Yeah.
so the liver it stores the anger and the frustration. When stuck, it can cause headaches. Okay, we went over that. Okay, so how to clear it? Okay, so I wrote down a few things on how to clear this, you guys, because I've had my own journey. I've had fatty liver. I've been dealing with me. You guys I just showed you my fluke, so obviously, and that was just the biggest one. It's not the only one that came out of me. Trust me, I had quite a few, a lot of different shapes and sizes too. But the one that I showed you a picture of, I just have a feeling that was the one that was like mainly living in my kidney or in my liver and in my gallbladder.
Yeah.
That was what was caused that twisting. And the pain felt like a Charlie horse, but it felt like something was twisting. Okay, and then I finally met someone else who's experienced that same pain. And I've been just floored ever since. I'm like, holy moly. Okay, movement like qigong and dancing, you guys, helps this. Help shake that out. Okay, do the
Mhm.
qigong. Qigong is just swinging your arms around, moving them this way. You can go to YouTube. Ann and I watched this one guy. He's great. He does all kinds of funny movements, and they feel good. Shaking it out. Okay,
Mhm.
that's and do this every morning, you guys, every night, as much as you can. Um, uh express your emotions, your creativity, express that, you guys. All right, and then the herbs I suggest is milk thistle and dandelion for the liver. Those are the two main ones that, I mean, there's a lot more, but those are the two that I highly recommend for the liver and getting those flukes out.
Mhm.
um
And get a binder. Everybody, you need to have a binder. You should even like have do your binders before you start trying to kill the critters
just
to get
contact
the
me,
toxins out. Yes,
contact me.
talk to Claudine if
And
you want
I have a full
I think
regimen that we're going to put out because we got the solstice coming up. Remember, I told you I'm
yeah.
getting channels of elimination. We're going to start there. We're going to start this challenge pretty soon, you guys. I'm getting it all written out. I'm putting it on the website. I have to do a whole new page per the website. So I'm trying to figure this out, how I'm going to do this. So I will have everything on the website this week, you guys. I've been working really aggressively on this, and we're going to have where we do the channels of elimination. We're going to do that first. Then we're
Mhm.
going to do the heavy metal detox because that's you've got you. They live in the heavy metals.
Yeah, that's the environment that they
That
thrive.
that's what they're thriving off. That's what they're feeding off of, and we're all full of heavy metals.
Yeah.
Every single one of us, because if you're breathing this air, you've got heavy metals. period. So no one can't tell me they don't have heavy metals, because
Everyone
if
has
you're
heavy metal.
breathing and you're walking, you got them.
Yeah.
If you lived of the world, if you put perfumes on, if you put lotions on, Bath and Body Works, you went and bought, all those fancy shampoos and stuff. You got parasites.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you've got
You
heavy
got
metals, and don't
you
say,
got heavy
yeah,
metals.
the critters. You got the critters. Okay, so an affirmation I wrote down is, I release anger and I am open to creativity. So there's an affirmation for it. Then the next organ would be the lungs, your throat chakra,
Mm-hmm. The
which
lung.
that holds grief,
Yeah.
and it's a release. Um, in Chinese medicine, lungs store grief and sadness.
Mm-hmm.
And I can feel that, especially, we're always, I mean, I think we're always mourning someone that we've lost. I lost my dad 53 years now. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll just, that's just something that I'll always, it'll always hurt. It doesn't ever go away. It just gets easier. That's it. And then I
Mm-hmm.
lost my sister-in-law, and I'm very still grieving over her. It hasn't been a year yet. We're getting close to a year on her anniversary that she passed.
Mm-hmm.
And then Anne lost her best friend this year too. So,
Yeah. Well, that's
mhm.
right before it started here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we all kind of have we grieve over
Uh,
someone or something. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I grieve over my son. Like
Yeah.
I had a couple dreams, and this is why I know the lungs holds that grief trauma, because I had two dreams of my son, and I haven't talked to my son like for the last 6 months. I have a very like sticky situation, and he's like 15 going on to 16, and it's just messy. So I just leave it alone. But I really miss him. And like when he was 9, he got taken. I had him till the age of 9, like 100%, so full on. And when everything fell apart, he left and he went with his dad took him. And the trauma of the grief that I felt was like, I can never express to anyone what that was like. It was so traumatic, and I cried, and I think I actually got sick from how much I cried. Like my lymphatic system got really damp, and I'm like, I think I got a broken heart. Like I used to cry so intensely. I don't cry anymore as much, because sometimes if I start crying, I can't stop, especially about certain topics. So I just don't think about it. But I had a couple dreams, and in my dream, I'm talking to him, and I start crying in my dream, and I can feel my lungs in my dream just pulsating. And then I'll wake up from my dream, and I'll still be feeling my lungs just like having that sensation that I had in my dream while I was crying, and my eyes will have water coming out of it. And I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. So I have like this trauma of grief from my son that's sitting in there. And when I'm like, when I'm not consciously thinking about it, that trauma is still in there and it wants to process and come out of me. But it makes, yeah, absolutely. Your lungs really do hold that trauma of grief. I guess when you cry, like your lungs are going, so it holds all of that in there. But it was a very interesting experience having those types of dreams and feeling my lungs in my dream while I'm crying. And it's like, oh, that's where the grief is sitting. It's sitting in my lungs. So, but that's Chinese medicine says grief sits in your lungs.
Yes.
So
And to me, the lungs is breath. It's everything. If you
yeah.
can't breathe, you know, you're not going to be here. Your breath is everything. And didn't it say in the Bible that God gave breath to Adam? And then
Mm-hmm.
that's how Adam was
Yep.
created. So, so
Yep.
God,
Life to
so God gives us breath, gives us life. And that's what, to me, the lungs are. And, it's your oxygen exchange, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's what keeps us alive. Without breath and without oxygen, your whole body dies. Like, when you don't have oxygen for a period of time, that gives you brain damage. Like, Yeah, breath is everything. So,
Yes, because
you
because
know,
you
that's why
breathe
when you,
and it goes into your bloodstream, right? Isn't that what it is? Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah, it feeds everything. It feeds your brain, it feeds your heart, feeds your, just feeds everything. Keeps your blood flowing through your body.
and I
So,
feel like this is an organ that gets ignored a lot. It really does. It gets bypassed.
I agree
Mhm.
too. I agree. And when you have, if you have any kind of heavy metal in your body, you know where it feeds into the most, where it sits in the most is your lungs.
Mhm.
So I was starting to get very wet lungs like later on throughout my life, and I never had that problem. And when I got my pin taken, well, when I had it in there and I wanted to start researching what it does to you, I saw that it puts heavy metals into your body, but the one place that it feeds the most is your lungs. And it made sense. Oh, this is why I'm starting to cough more and keep getting more. Um, I was starting to catch more like bacteria, like viruses that were around, especially lung ones, and heavy metals. So I guess when you have heavy metals in your body, that's feeding going into your lungs too. Because if a titanium pin is seeping into your lungs, that's heavy metals. So the lungs are important.
They are, and you get it. Your lungs support your cellular energy, you guys. It's the oxygen from the lungs that fuels your cells so they can function and repair and detoxify. So I was
Yeah.
just telling them how, your lungs are your cellular energy.
Mm-hmm.
They regulate your
For
pH
sure.
balance.
Mm-hmm.
Helps
Sure
keep your
does. For sure.
body's acid alkaline balanced, you guys, to keep that alkaline and the pH. Yeah, so your lungs are very important, and they're very moisture. You want to always have the lungs moist. You do, but you want to have a certain amount of moisture. If you're doing a lot of phlegm and you're coughing up a lot, and you have a raspy voice from smoking and stuff, that's too much moisture. Now, I did also detox a parasite from the lung area. I believe it came from the lung area, you guys, because that night, oh, I was just holding my chest so tight. I didn't know what was going on, you guys, but I mean, your linear brain goes everywhere. "Oh, I'm having a heart attack. Oh, this stupid human things you say to yourself." And I'm just like, no, 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 no. It's just a critter. It's just a critter. But it was very painful that night, you guys. I didn't get a whole bunch of sleep. Let me see if I was looking for that parasite. Hold on. I lost it again. Why do these parasites keep leaving me? Hold on a minute, you guys. I'm so sorry. Um, I need to put these in in a regular
In the
yeah, the
regular
regular
folder.
folder. I actually just need to
The
I'm gonna
regular
post them on my
folder.
website. And for my clients who allow me to post their parasites, like an award type picture, we're gonna put their parasites with their picture on there too for the ones who are brave enough to show what came out of them. I'm proud of it. This takes
I am
this takes
too. If I ever see that, I'll take pictures of it.
Ann and I will have our pictures up there. Trust me. We'll be on the website with our
Oh, all
parasites.
right. And I will put my hand up and say it's my
Oh yeah.
picture. I love when I have proof and I see these things exiting my body. Like I wish I saw
So this
more.
is the one that I believe came from my lungs.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
It was
Biofilm.
wrapped and wrapped and wrapped around there. Again, it's heavy metals. I know you guys but the next day, that's what came out, you guys. Not just one, three of them. Those are pretty long, you guys. Those are huge, huge.
Oh,
It's like a foot
man.
long.
It's just
That
all
thing's
through
lapped
your
around my
intestines.
stick, okay? It's lapped around. So, of course, the next day, the time that I could breathe again, and I'm not one who has a problem breathing. I mean, I think most people wouldn't even know that I smoke marijuana. I've been smoking marijuana since I was 13 years old, and nobody can tell that I was a smoker. I know I don't sound like a smoker. I don't cough. If I was to cough, oh my gosh, I would be on it like that. I don't have a cough. If something makes me cough or makes me uncomfortable, I stop it immediately. And whenever I have smoked my cannabis in the past, it's always been from nice, clean glass or really good, healthy wraps. Um, I don't smoke as much as I used to, not at all. Not even close to what I used to smoke anymore. I just smoke now maybe a little bit in the morning
I,
before I work out, maybe, and then in the evening after I go to bed. But that's about it. I've really slowed down. It is what it is. It's life for me. Um, I don't want to be stony all day when I'm dealing. I just don't, you guys. I do not.
you can't,
Mm-mm.
but you can't be. If I was working with people like you do, I couldn't. I would have to be so sharp and switched on in my
Yeah.
mind. Like,
Yeah. So when I smoke, it's
you,
sacred. I want to be able to be with it. I want to be able to sit with it. So that's why it is for me. In the morning, sometimes I might smoke a little bit before I go into my workout, but not every morning, but definitely almost every night. I just
Mhm.
sit there and I give gratitude and I'm with it, you guys, okay? Because like I said, it's ceremony for me.
That's probably why you can't remember your dreams. Do you know that THC makes us not remember our dreams?
Yeah, but I used to remember my dreams all the time when I was even a heavy smoker. So
I smoke, I remember my dreams,
yeah,
so I don't
when
think
you eat it, I think that's when
blanket
you're
rule.
eating it, it's gonna block your dreams out. That makes sense because it's you're metabolizing it differently. Um, but with
Mhm.
the smoke, I think that I don't remember. I just do that on purpose. I just do. I know there's a reason for it, and it's done on purpose. It's an agreement that I have with myself. I almost because in that way, because it would distract me from doing my work. I get it.
For sure,
Um,
probably.
and then voice and sound comes from the lungs. Your vocal cords are there.
Hmm. Yeah, your throat chakra.
Yes,
It all intertwines, doesn't it? It's just like one big snake that just wraps all up in your around your body, and it all it goes out into different parts of your body, but it all comes back to just they're all intertwined. Your entire body's intertwined. So
yes, yes. And then,
it,
so what they say, what Chinese medicine says about the lungs is it stores grief and sadness linked to breath and skin and health. So I like that. We've already talked about how it is breath. It's number one thing that comes to my mind when it comes, and then the story about Adam and the creator, how he gave Adam breath and that gave, yeah,
and
yeah, that's what it always reminds me of that Bible story. Um, and then the skin, it has to do with the skin, you guys. So if your skin isn't right, if you've got real dry skin or real oil skin, that's part of the lungs, the moist
that's very
skin health. Yeah,
interesting.
skin health. Yep. Hmm.
I thought it was the liver, but that makes sense that
Hmm.
it's the
Well, I'm sure the
lungs.
liver's part of it too. The
I've had
liver's part of a different part of this dry skin, maybe
mm,
they say dry
yeah,
feet, whatever, we've got different, like you
yeah,
said, it's all intermingled and all ties into
all
each other. They're all
fine.
connected. You remember that song?
Yeah,
The hip bone's connected to the knee bone, the knee.
yeah, yeah. I do remember that. You just reminded me of it.
It's all about that song.
just they're just trying to tell us in riddles.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Um,
But it is even like our stomach channels are connected through our entire body. Like I learned this in when I did acupuncture because they're like you have a stomach blockage, but the stomach blockage is coming from your leg. Like where I had the metal piece, they're like that's where the blockage is. And I'm like, how is your stomach blocked from your leg? And they're like, well, you have stomach channels that run through your whole body and like down in your legs, your spleen, your gallbladder, your liver, they have very strong channels in there. So if you have something there, the channels are still going to get blocked because those are stomach. It just makes it kind of doesn't make any sense, but it does
it
make
does.
sense. But once I learned like sometimes my stomach hurts real bad, but I'll massage my legs and my feet where these stomach channels are to help my stomach not hurt as
Yep.
much.
It
And it
does. It
works.
works. And you could do the
So
hands too. The hands have got those same channels too. And so does up here the temples. Okay, Victor, thank you for reminding us about not saying the P word. It's the P word we have to say. You're going to have to keep reminding me, Victor, because I'll get used to it, but please remind me, you guys, okay? Because we can't use that word. We're being censored so bad here. I can't believe it. I'm just like, wow. Okay, but anyways,
that's
it's a story of my life.
it's the
I
archon.
know, I know. I'm not gonna be able to say my
It's the
name. I'm not
archon.
gonna be able to
They're
say my name
censoring
before
us.
I know it. You say my name, you're gonna get censored. Okay. Okay, so he says, when I used to smoke it, I started having psychosis and started hearing voices saying that you're with Illuminati. Okay, that's yeah, smoking is not for everyone. THC is not for everybody, you guys. It works on everybody. What I say is because what THC will do is it brings all of your shit to you really quick, you guys. I don't want to get off topic here, but you're fine, Victor. You can't use THC. That is perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. You got CBD. And I know you like the CBD.
Mm,
All of us have a different endocannabinoid system, Victor. We're all different. It's just not what helps you.
mm,
369
mhm.
Conscious Creator Journey. Oh, Claudine, we are at the 369 portal at the moment. I think Julie's missing. Oh, okay. Portal stuff. All right. We'll get back to that in a minute. Okay, so let's get back to the lungs. So in native medicine, they say breath is sacred life force. Totally. I agree with that. Grief is held here and must be released to breathe freely. You've got to release that grief. You've got to release, and it doesn't have to be a loved one, you guys. Like Anne just gave the complete
Yeah.
story of when her son was ripped from her, taken from her, hijacked
Mhm,
from her,
mhm.
stolen from her, how bad it has hurt her. And she cried so much, she dampened her whole entire body because of it.
Yeah.
Grief will make you very
Yep.
sick, but it doesn't have to be because of a death. You can grieve in so many
No.
ways. People who get divorced, they grieve their marriage.
Yep. Yep. You can't say what's gonna be grief to
Yeah,
your
you,
body and to your
yeah.
soul.
And
You
you
just
don't know how
can't.
you're going to handle grief because we're all so different. And every time we lose something, we grieve differently. I believe that.
Yep. We do. That's why they say like when someone dies that you experience, you cannot you cannot plan or know what's going to hit you. It is what it is. Grief is going to hit everyone differently. It's going to heal differently in everyone. It's going to impact that person differently to like you just don't know how it's going to hit you and you just have to go along with it. Like when my friend died, I went to her funeral, I was sitting there and they got wanted everyone to get up and go do something. And the kind of grief I felt, it paralyzed me to my chair. I could not move in that instance and get up and do like I was literally paralyzed in my seat. And that was just from the feeling of grief that I felt in that moment at her funeral. It was so like overpowering for me. So I never, and I was so scared because I'm like, what is happening to me? Like, what is this experience? I'm paralyzed. Am I ever going to get up again? But I did. But yeah, grief is like, it's something that, it's the one thing I've experienced in life where I just go, holy shit, like, never think that you're in control of that grief because
You're
you're
not.
not.
And I remember before she passed, you seemed to be okay with it. You're like, oh, I'll be fine. I'll be okay.
Yeah.
We know what this is. We know what,
And
and
I
you were like so
ran.
sure of yourself. Next thing you know, I get a message from you. You're like, I'm hurting so bad. I'm like, oh, but you
Yeah.
wouldn't be the human you are if it didn't hurt. You know what I mean? You lost your best friend, you know,
Exactly.
and it hurts.
Exactly.
Um, so, and then it
Exactly.
says in Ayurvedic medicine, it's Veda dosha, air and space,
Hmm.
rules lungs, dryness, and emotional sensitivity. Okay. And then how to clear it, breath work and deep signs when you sigh off with a deep breath. Okay, now I've done a lot of breath work, you guys, because I have worked very closely with a yogi, and that's what he does. He teaches prana, he teaches breath. It's all he's about. So him and I would do a lot of breath work exercises, and you just want you want to let that out and do it in your own privacy where you can get that out. Get it coming from your gut, in and out, and just do it in different, just play with it. Do what you're called to do, but get that breath moving. I breathe every morning when I'm grounding. Okay. Every morning, you guys know I go to the doggy park and I ground by the tree and I breathe very heavy. Even if I'll bend all the way over my body all the way over and I will do it as I'm touching my toes. It feels good. I love the way it feels. Um, express your emotions creatively through art and journaling and dancing, and express that, you guys. Let those emotions out.
Mm,
Cry.
for
Let
sure.
those tears out. Do not hold the tears in, because when you have tears of sadness, that's a different energy coming out of your eyes, you guys. That's not the same energy coming out of, like, when you stub your toe and you're like, oh, that hurt. Different pain, you guys.
It's complete.
Different
Yeah.
emotions. Cry that stuff out. Let it go. Let it out and let it go. The herbs for your liver that I am going to, I'm sorry for the lungs. I'm so sorry. Um, the ones that I picked, you guys, is mullein. Mullein and licorice is two of the very best. Mullein, you guys, hands down. My number one is going to be mullein. And I do sell that on my website. It is on my website. I do. It grows here abundantly in Arizona. So I go and I forage that up north all the time. Mullein is a miracle worker. It's what our ancestors gave our medicine people would give our ancestors mullein when they had asthma, when they couldn't breathe, and it works. That was one of the herbs I used to get that critter out, you guys, that you saw that I just showed you a picture of, okay? That big long one,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Um,
I didn't mind. I
huh?
tried that. I liked it. It
Yeah,
was good.
mulleins good.
It's good
Yeah, it's
for.
really good. I can send you some if you need some too in your package.
Oh,
Um, but I love the mullein here in Arizona. It's fantastic. Like I said, it's native to Arizona. I'm very lucky to have that. And I also believe that is also the secret to why I don't sound like a smoker or have all the, yeah, it's the
okay.
secret. Yeah. You can smoke
Well,
mullein too.
you
Mullein is a
want that.
smokable herb too. Yep.
Mm,
Our natives smoked it. They sure did. Um, of
very
course,
nice.
anything that's smokable, you guys, I know about, okay? I'm a smoky person. I like smoking.
Smoke
Huh?
it. If you can smoke it,
I will
Claudine
know
will know
about it.
about it.
I'm that person. Um, and the
Yeah,
affirmations
keep.
for the lungs is, I am breath in peace. Exhale
I
in
am breath.
peace. Exhale the sorrow.
I think I need to write that down. I'm gonna write that one
I
down.
breathe in peace.
Breath and
And the
peace.
affirmations can be so short, you guys. They don't have to be these long, unless you want to, have big long ones, it's fine. But I just keep it simple, I breathe in peace and exhale in sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we've got Victor. He's doing breath work too.
Well, in Kundalini, it's all about the breath work, isn't it? That's what they do to make their Kundalini rise. They do all breath work stuff. Like they do like crazy weird breath work, and that makes your Kundalini energy rise to even crazier levels. And yeah, I've seen like different clips and stuff about it, but that's all based off of, is the breath
Yeah,
work,
Victor's feeling
is
better over
meditating.
it. He just
Breath.
put down here that he's starting to feel better after doing breath work. You do feel better. Let me tell you something right now, and I know Ann can sympathize with me on this one. When I gave birth, that's all I had was breath. I had to breathe through it because Anne went natural and I went natural. To me, if it wasn't for breathing with mother, with the rhythm of mother, phew, oh,
Mm. I had the gas. That was my breath. I was like,
oh, they didn't
and
do that here in America. No, 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 no.
they gave gas, but it was funny because as you're go, like they give it to you, and then they go, oh, they take the gas off of you when they need you to push, and I wouldn't give them back the gas because I was like, I was desperate. I had gone through like 12 hours of labor and done it all myself, so I wouldn't give them back the tube. And they turned it off at the machine, So I was just there and I was like sucking this thing as I'm like doing all my pushing and everything. And I was just taking in my own breath.
Oh God.
But it got me through to like pushing the baby out. So shows that how much your breath is just like, just will make you just as high as the gas.
Right, I guess. Okay.
It was just those big suctions of air,
Yeah,
you
you'll
know.
get dizzy. You'll get, if you didn't breathe right, you'd get dizzy, you hyperventilate. Yeah, I had all that stuff happen to me when I was giving birth. So we're going to go ahead and close it with the lungs. And the last thing I want to say is that the lungs connect to the spirit with nature and the creator. So, yes.
Amen. I agree with
Okay. And then next one, kidneys.
kidneys.
I like to talk about the kidneys because I practice Shinbambu. And Shinbambu is urine
Mhm.
therapy. So the kidneys are very important when it comes to doing urine therapy. Your kidneys are everything, you
Mhm.
guys, everything. And I think I'm going to touch a little bit on urine therapy here because it's so connected. The urine therapy and the kidneys, because your kidneys is what filters your urine. So we might talk about
Yep.
this one for a minute. Um, so the kidneys filters your blood and removes waste. Kidney holds in Chinese medicine, it says, okay, so kidneys hold fear and ancestral memory.
Okay, it's the only one I didn't have is kidneys. I have all the other ones, just no kidneys. So what does it hold?
Fear and ancestral memory.
Fear and ancestral memory.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And in
Inter-
Chinese medicine, kidneys hold fear, ancestral trauma. They govern survival and vitality.
mm-hmm.
Native medicine, the water is the water element of kidneys, connects to flow, ancestral roots. Fear blocks this flow.
Mm-hmm.
Ayurvedic, Veda dosha, governor's kidney. Imbalance creates coldness and insecurity. Okay. So I
Interesting.
know the kidneys are very important. It
Sure.
filters everything. It regulates your water, your electrolytes, your balance.
Mm-hmm. And look at how many of us have kidney issues as we get older in
Mhm.
life. Like even children have. You find a lot of kids will have kidney issues, but men will get where they can't pee the same, and us, women, we can't hold our bladders the same. So it's interesting, like how much our kidneys, as we get older, how they work and stuff inside our bodies. So I didn't realize that they like held different things because I this one I in my stuff I didn't have it, but fear, ancestral memory. Um, yeah, I like the emotional side of what things hold inside of us because I think it makes a lot of sense to the way they start to work in our bodies as time goes on, as all those traumas and stuff sit in them for our whole entire lives if we don't process them. So.
And it holds fear and ancestral memory, you guys. Okay, now the reason why I'm going to touch here, and you're like ancestral memory. What do you mean? Like, how does the kidneys hang on to that? Okay, it's through the urine. Urine has memory. Your urine remembers who you were when you were a super healthy little kid. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. That's why when you're so sick and you start to take your urine, your body starts to remember of when you
Mm.
had a very healthy, balanced body before all of the peas invaded your body.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, and these are some things that I have written down when it comes to my urine therapy. I'm kind of going through that file right now. And the function of the kidneys is to balance the elements in your body. The body sends excess good elements to the bladder because it can't use them all at once, but they still are beneficial. Medical researchers have found that when Reintroducing it into the body, these elements boost immunity and stimulate and healing in a way like nothing else can. So urine is urine is very good for the kidneys. It's where where you filter all of your liquids, you guys, and it's a detoxifier. And so your urine's already detoxed. Everything's detoxed out of it. It's clean. If your urine is clean, your kidney is clean, your blood is clean. Period.
Mm-hmm. So if your pee isn't clean, your blood isn't clean. So is that why they take urine? Because that's how they can see that what's going on inside your body to some degree through your urine.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And I had
Interesting.
something written on that too. When you have your blood taken, your urine sits on top of it. All the sediments go down. What's on top of your blood work is your urine.
Mm-hmm.
So because in your urine, you have your plasma and you have brain stem cells.
Mm-hmm.
These are facts.
Mm-hmm.
So do you see, you're just drinking, and you don't always have to drink it. There's other ways to do it, you guys. I am a practitioner on this. I'm just starting to kind of come out and own that, because as Anne will tell you, I've been doing this for a very long time. I've been doing urine for a
Long
long
time.
time. Yeah.
At least since like 2021 or something. You've
Yeah.
been doing that
Hmm.
thing. I don't do it.
No.
I haven't been brave enough for that step in my life. I feel like I'm gonna mess up and poison myself.
Oh, you're not. You won't. So what I have written on here also is urine is actually is cleaner than your blood. Blood goes through the liver where it's filtered, and the kidneys regulate by sending excess substance to the bladder. The kidney don't actually filter, that they don't filter, they regulate. When we overeat or overdrink, the body produces excess minerals, enzymes, hormones, and stem cells. The body tries to store these valuable substances in the bladder, but it can only hold so much before they leak out into urine. That's why you urinate, because it can't hold everything. Okay, and that's what causes the urine. Um, I had something else I was going to say, and I can't remember what it was. And urine is not harmful, you guys. It's not. It's not harmful to you at all, especially when it's fresh and in the morning. And the older it gets, the better it is too. It's what we call
That's
aged
insane.
urine. Aged urine. Aged urine will kill anything. Anything. It's amazing what I've seen what that's done. Um, so so yeah, your kidney is another important organ. Now, when you do have excess things and you have too much of something and your pH is off, you'll get what we call kidney stones. Who's had kidney stones?
I don't know. I don't think
I have.
I'm not
That
sure.
was that was the very first part of me when I was when the now that we know it's called elimination of channels, those were the first things that came out of me because of my it was painful. Remember, oh gosh, this was like 4 years ago when I gave birth to the kidney stones and the gallbladder stones. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do
I got
remember.
I got real sick in the back. Remember, my back was just hurting and hurting. I was in so much pain, you guys. I didn't know. I've never had. I felt like I was going to give birth. That's all I kept saying. This feels like birth, like back pain. Because I've given birth where all I ever had was back pain. I never had a contraction in the front. So that's the only thing I can do to compare it to. So okay, sorry, I was reading that. Okay, so yeah, so I had kidney stones. I got rid of those. And that was the first part of that's when I knew. That was when those came out. I'm like, oh my gosh, what else is in there?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
And I was you're looping back then too. I thought that was going to fix everything, but there's a lot more to it than just urine looping. Yeah. Um, so the things for that I wrote down for kidneys, which if your kidneys, you're going to have a lot of fear. It's going to take your courage away from you. If you have fear, you have no courage. If you have no courage, you have fear. Those two go hand to hand. I can talk on courage and fear all day long because that's something that I've been facing a lot for myself the last couple of years, especially with doing these lives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so grounding rituals, grounding helps with that, you guys, which I'm really big on. Grounding, earthing, I'm all about it. We talked about that all last week. Um, soaking your feet,
Mm-hmm.
soak your feet, you guys. Get some good Epsom salt. It's that simple. Get some good magnesium flakes and just soak those feet. I talked a little bit about that last week too, about soaking the feet. Meditation, always something good. Um, you can release fear through breath and sound and just facing those fears, just facing them.
Yep.
And I like the herbs ashwagandha and, well, reishi's not a herb, but I like reishi mushrooms and ashwagandha, you guys, for the kidneys. I think those work very well, very, very well. And the affirmation, I am safe, grounded, and connected to my strength.
I'm safe, grounded, and connected to my strength.
I am safe, I am grounded, and I am connected to my strength. Okay, you guys, my air just went off. I'm dying. It's like 120 degrees today in Arizona. Just kidding, but it's hot. Hold on.
It's freezing over here. We are so cold.
Yeah, sorry, you guys. It's closing time, so everything gets turned down way low, or gets turned down a little bit. But man, I'm like sweating here.
Yeehaw, I'm
Um,
cold. I'm freezing and you're
I know, because you're in winter. We're right. We're almost getting ready for the first day of summer here at the solstice. Okay, so the next organ we have, which we all just adore, is our heart. The heart organ.
I don't have that one.
Huh?
I don't have that one written down. I'll have to write this down. Okay, what does the heart hold? The heart's a very
Very
powerful.
powerful.
It's our heart chakra. Like we lose our empathy when our heart chakra is not working properly. Like if our heart chakra is off, our whole chakra system is going to be off. Like the chakra system has to work with the heart chakra open. And the heart chakra is where your heart is. It's in the exact same spot. So, yeah, the heart would be a very interesting organ to learn about.
Well, Anne just kind of nailed it right there. It is your joy and your connection.
Yeah. Heart chakra.
And we'll get into that. We'll probably talk about this one probably for the rest of our time because this is a really good one. Because I've got spleen, colon. What did you write down, Anne?
I've got the ones you haven't mentioned. I've got stomach, spleen, and gallbladder. But I don't have any heart and large intestine and your colon.
Okay, we could probably do 2 shows on this, you guys. So we'll probably continue this next week because we just have a lot of organs. Your skin is another major organ too. So I don't know if we'll get time to get to all, but the heart, joy and connection, Chinese medicine, heart stores joy, love, love, but also heartbreak and loneliness. And we've all felt that before. I mean, oh, that's a deep one. Native medicine, heart is a sacred center of connection and balance. Ayurvedic, Pitta dosha influences heart fire, imbalance, causes emotional intensity. So those are those 3 systems. That's what they say about it.
That's where I felt my pain when my son left me. I felt it right there. Like when I would cry, that part of my body would just be so in pain. And when I first started feeling like really bad pain, like once my Kundalini was like going a little bit haywire, my heart right up in this center was like fluttering. It would just feel like something's wrong with it. But all the pain came when I would start crying. it would come from my heart. Like that's why I said I feel like I experienced a physical broken heart because like that's where it hit me was all my heart. It was
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
the heart is that's where you're gonna feel your pain for sure. It stores I mean, oh gosh.
The heart chakra, it's this chakra that I really have a super strong understanding for and how it works in our system. And I see it in people. I can always tell when someone's heart chakra isn't working properly. The things that they do and the way that they are, I can tell, I can feel it. And I've said to them, your heart chakra isn't working properly. Like if you're going to go the spiritual route and you want to work on all the stuff, you need to go work with your heart chakra first of all. You know, get a
That's your
pet.
yeah, that's your straight connection. And I love how Victor just says that you have to open the heart chakra in order to open the third eye.
Yeah.
Bravo. Ding, 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 ding. Yep, good one, Victor. That's a very good one. I totally agree
So
with you. Anne agrees with you totally too. It's
yeah,
true. Thank you for bringing that up because that's a really good statement that we probably would have forgotten.
yeah.
Um, Now we know that the heart pumps blood, you guys, pumps all
Mhm.
the blood. So they say. That's what they say. I've heard other things.
Your lungs actually is what pumps the blood. Your heart distributes it to the different parts of your body, but
Because all
your
those channels
lungs,
it has, huh?
yeah, but your lungs is actually what is pumping the blood, like that breathing and everything. Like that's why you see the lungs
Yeah.
pulsating, and that's
Yeah. The
because
heart
that.
just beats. It just
Yeah,
beats like 100,000 times a
I
day or
think
something
your
like that,
heart's like
right?
the rhythm that goes on in your body, like that,
Hmm.
like the clock inside your body. But
There is a new science coming out on this. I do agree with you on that one. I do believe, though, it still does deliver, it still delivers the oxygen and the nutrients to the organs, though, right? And the
oh,
tissues.
yeah,
Okay.
because
Yeah, they're still saying that's, yeah.
yeah, it distributes everything. It distributes the blood to the different channels. It distributes like it still is what it is. It's just everyone. It's not what pumps by itself. Your
Yeah,
lungs
it's not
pump.
a pump. They're saying that a heart's not a pump. So I don't know. I'm just going back on, the old science that I know, what I was brought up that, the heart was a pump. But I do
Yeah,
agree with
it's
this new
pump.
science. I really do. It makes total sense what they're saying, especially when they opened it up and you saw all those channels. I was
Yeah,
like, ooh, I like that new fact right there. Makes
yeah,
so much more sense.
does.
Yeah, and we know it carries the carbon dioxide and metabolic waste away away to be processed and eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Maintenance
You
of
know?
circulation of blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And it supports hormonal communication, which kind of makes sense because if your heart isn't in the right space and you're not feeling it and you're feeling really depressed and sad, that really messes with your hormones, especially the cortisol hormone
Mm-hmm.
and the fight and flight one and your serotonin and your dopamines and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Mm-hmm.
um I've heard that the heart can produce its own hormones too. I've heard that before too. So that I always found that kind of interesting how it produces some kind of a hormone that lowers the blood pressure or something like that. I don't know. Maybe other people probably know more than I do, but I've heard that before.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know a lot about. I know that lung thing. The lungs, that is what pumps the blood in your heart, is what distributes it to the different. I know that one. I've seen that a couple places, that fact. But yeah, I don't know everything else about the heart. I know the heart. I understand a lot about the heart chakra, but even with Kundalini energy. So Kundalini energy opens at your root chakra. Everyone knows that, right? But my acupuncturist, his wife works with a lot of this kind of stuff, and he said that she's learned that in a female, it's actually the heart chakra that turns on the Kundalini energy, and that's what sends the signal down to the root chakra to open up. But that's where all her Kundalini energy actually sits, is in the heart. And that's why if a woman falls in love with a man, she's the root chakra opens up because her heart chakra is telling her that's open the root chakra to bring in, but that's where her energy sits. And the man, it sits all in the root, of course, like we know it, but in the
That makes so much sense. You know when you're attracted to somebody because you get that, you get those little
yeah,
butterflies, and
yeah,
when the heart knows, right?
yeah,
That
exactly. And
saying is
it
so
opens up
real.
the root chakra too for a
Uh-huh.
female when the heart goes. Like if a man wants to get a woman to open there, go for her heart. Don't go for her heart, and you'll get her every time because that's what's going to open her up to you on all levels in her root chakra. So because yeah, go for her heart. Win the heart over.
And the heart also holds emotional memory too.
I would imagine so, for sure. For
Hmm.
sure. They
Yeah,
all
that's a big one. Yeah, you hear that, amongst people who are into the spiritual stuff here with the chakra systems, right?
hmm And I believe
Um,
are super real inside our body. I feel like my chakras were more powerful than my physical body. And they just did their own thing at some point. Like my sacral chakra, and I feel like when I do things in life, I don't my thought process is not as strong as my chakra, like how my chakras. I go off of how my chakras feel. Like if I don't love, I can't show a lot of emotion to you. I'm just going to be a nice person, but that's it. That's where I cut off. If my heart chakra's not feeling it, I'm like, I'm just me. If my heart chakra feels you, I will love you and but I have to feel it I can't feel it from my head saying, oh, I love you. I have to feel it from somewhere inside my soul. So those chakras are very strong and they're very real.
they're
So
very strong and very real, and that's where I get my connection to creator. I really, really do. When I connect and I feel and I know it's the creator because of the way my heart feels.
yes, it's the
Yeah,
chakra.
yeah, the chakra, it's the center of truth and the connection to the creator.
hmm
That's
hmm
how I feel.
It's a true way. It's a true, like when you feel those things, they're truth. Whereas when you're using your mind, that's human thought. That's what you've been conditioned. That's maybe what other people say, like, that's influencing your decision. But when you feel it from your chakra and from your soul, like that's true. When your gut feels something and it feels off, that's the truth. Like, take notice of what you're feeling because your chakras are picking up on something that the human mind is not aware of, but your chakra is aware of it. Your spirit is aware of it, and it's trying to communicate with you and say, hey, listen to me, because, spirit and human are not always in sync together. So that chakra system I will always say, is very important to try and be connected to and in touch with and keep clean. You want to keep those chakras clean. You don't want your heart all muddied up from all the traumas and it's just not working properly, and you go through life not being in touch with that heart chakra system, and it clouds everything else. The sacral, your sacral chakra, if you have trauma from all different things in your life, like it's not going to work properly. You're just going to get anxiety over everything and think everything's bad. And so you want to keep that chakra system cleaned out, and yeah, all ties in with each other.
Yeah, and like you said, when you have forgiveness in your heart, you forgive people from the heart,
hmm
that releases those burdens.
hmm
And then it opens up more space for more compassion and to emanate that love of God, right?
Sure, for
Yeah,
sure, for
yeah.
sure.
It
and
all
and
has purpose.
yeah, for sure. I really believe in the chakra system. Like,
Yeah. And I think it's much more simpler than they try to make it so confusing, and the Merkaba and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, take all your junk and go away.
yeah, it's
Because
super.
we're learning, Ann, that everything is just very simple and basic. It really is. And they try to confuse it with all this other stuff. And just take the seven chakras. If we have more chakras, great. But let's
Mhm,
just work with these ones that we have, that we
mhm,
know about, and work with what we know. You know what I mean? Let's not make everything so freaking confusing for
No,
everybody. It's
no,
you're not going to be able to get this proper healing that you need if you need that.
no.
That's why we like to go live, just to because it is very that simple. Now, what I do have written for the heart, for it to be, in balance, and how to clear is okay. Heart opening yoga. There's all kinds of yoga moves you can do to open up the heart. And again, I'm going to say dance. Dancing is such a great way to help with so much of your chakra system. Practice gratitude and self-love. Soak your
Yes.
feet. Yep, love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, so for the heart, I like hawthorn and tulsi black seed.
Okay.
Hawthorn and black seed oil. Those are the herbs that I recommend. Um, and then the affirmation I wrote is I open my heart to love and joy. Such a simple one.
But it's true. Open it up. Open up your heart.
Open. Yeah. Okay. What now? Did you have spleen?
Yep. I have spleen.
Okay, go ahead and go with your spleen because I have spleen down too.
I only have one thing. I have for spleen. It says that the or your spleen, the emotion it processes and responds to trauma is pensiveness. That's what I have for it. What's yours?
What I got with mine when I did my research with the Chinese medicine, native and Ayurvedic, I got spleen stores worry and overthinking.
Okay, so pensiveness is similar. Yeah.
Yeah,
Overthinking.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Um,
Over
affecting, yeah, digestion and energy.
yeah. 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 My
Native
spleen
medicine.
was very off.
Very off, yeah. The
Yeah.
spleen, I just started doing working on my spleen actually this year. That's the one thing I've been really dealing with because I've got several clients who came in this year with spleen cancer. So
Whoa.
I am working with three clients that got cancer in their spleen. So that's kind of been hitting me. I'm like, well, that's an organ that I don't haven't been paying too much attention to,
It's a
honestly.
really deep organ, your spleen.
Hmm.
Very
Very
deep.
deep.
It's a hard one to get to. Even in acupuncture I found my kidneys, my liver, my gallbladder, they could seem to work with, but they always struggle to work with my spleen and get my spleen to move. Because once the spleen moves, everything else moves. It's kind of like that main motor that makes all the other motor go, like it makes it all kind of like start to tick over, and that's the spleen. But it's a really deep organ, and I find it's a hard organ to kind of target inside your body.
I
And
agree with you.
I would say when the critters, when you go after critters and they want to hide, that would be the one spot they're going to hide in to
Hmm.
try and not be flushed out, is your spleen, because it's nice
Yeah.
and deep, super
Yeah.
easily cold. And yeah, the
Yeah,
spleen.
the spleen is a tricky one. That is an organ that is just, I think it's very overlooked.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I think sugar destroys the spleen in a way
mm-hmm,
that we probably don't really understand. And preservatives and the heavy metals get in there. And so to
mm-hmm,
detox the heavy metals from the spleen can be quite tricky. Like I said, right now,
mm-hmm.
I'm doing a lot of spleen detoxes with the heavy metals, and I'm really focusing on my spleen. It says here in native medicine, spleen relates to nurturing and grounding.
Grounding. Yeah,
Mhm.
makes sense.
Ayurvedic, it's Kappadosha, governs spleen. I hope I'm saying that right. Imbalance leads to heaviness and stagnation.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Like
yeah,
it's your overthinker.
yeah,
If you overthink everything, that's your
mhm,
spleen right there. That's your
yeah,
spleen causing that. It's a critters in the spleen.
in this lane. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly.
Um, the spleen filters your blood, removes old and damaged red blood cells, acts like a giant lymph node for your bloodstream.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
It fights the infections, stores white blood cells.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, helps produce antibodies.
Mm-hmm.
It plays a vital role in your immune response,
Yeah, wow.
especially fighting bacteria. So my client that comes in, when I see her, we'll be talking a lot about her spleen and see where we're at with that, because that kind of just because she's got bacteria infections. So, and that all comes from the spleen. So again,
Mm,
that's right there. It tells you critters. Bacteria is critters, you guys.
I think so. It's a nice dark place for them to hide, your
Mm-hmm.
spleen. So hard to get to. So yeah, that would make perfect sense. Even even detoxing, I find the spleen, like I can target the liver and everything easily because everything has to process through it. But to get to the spleen is like, it's just that little bit harder. Got to be much more like onto it in trying to like um process, get things through it, clean it out. Even like I massage it because it gets real damp, your spleen. So like there's spleen channels inside your legs that you can massage to help the dampness come out of your spleen and help you get that dampness out of it. So sometimes I just sit there with the gua sha and I just like do the channels for my spleen because I'm like, I need to get the spleen to start moving. And
You do, that's part of your lymphatic system, Anne.
yeah, yep.
Okay, the spleen is part of that lymphatic system. It works along the side of your digestive system. So, and it is a big kind of lymphatic. It's like,
Is That's what I
yeah,
learned in acupuncture. Just it's a big part of it.
it's a
It has to go.
lymphoid. It's a huge lymphoid.
Yeah, yeah, and it's where a lot of the dampness sits in. So to get your body to get rid of that dampness, you got to get the spleen to move.
Yes, and that's the hardest organ to get moving. But when you get that moving, your spleen, when it's in balance, it's gonna feel like your life force is drained out of you.
Absolutely.
It does. It's what it feels like. Okay, so what I'm using right now for the spleen and to detox that, I'm doing the hawthorn. Oh, I'm sorry. The ginger, fennel, and beet juice.
Okay, I do beet juice, ginger, fennel, and beet juice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I do beet
Beet
juice every.
juice, yeah, it supports the spleen really, really, really physically.
Okay, that's great. That's why I've been waking up with heaps more energy because I drink beet juice every single morning when I wake up, and I've just been waking
Yes,
up quite like alert. Interesting.
yes. So
Let's see.
beets, they they build your blood.
Mm-hmm. They
Hmm.
help filter your blood
Hmm.
through your liver. The beetroot.
Hmm. And I love using the beets. And since I've been doing this beets, doing the detox with the beets, I well, I don't like it so much, but I love borscht. I love beet soup. So that has been really good because I can have abundant of that. And beet juice is very good. It tastes really good. I really enjoy it. You know that it's gone through your spleen and your kidney and everything else because it comes right out. It comes out just like the way it looks when it goes in, it comes out. And I
Mm-hmm.
like having that affirmation of knowing that it's been through my whole entire body. And it's not just the spleen, it's good for the kidneys, it's good for every organ we've talked
Liver,
about already.
heart,
Yes.
all of them. Awesome. Celery
Yeah.
juice is another really good one to start your
Yes,
day with.
celery juice. Yep,
Celery
yep, that's
juice.
another one. Yep, celery juice is another. We got to talk a little bit more about celery juice. I always forget about that one. I forget about it so much.
Celery juice. If you drink it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, it goes through your entire fascial system and gets rid of all the garbage, flushes it all out. But you have to do it on an empty stomach before you have anything else. Wake up, make your fresh celery juice, and yeah, give it about half an hour, and it will go through your entire fascial system and flush out all the garbage.
Yeah, so try to make sure you're on a fast when you do it. Do it and then eat like a half an hour, 45 minutes later will be fine. Just if you can eat that when you can drink that or eat the beets, however you want to do it.
Yeah.
Or take, if you don't like the taste of beets like we do, take some beet capsules. They do take beets and they do capsule them now.
Mm, it
Yeah.
tastes so yummy in a juice.
I know, but there's a
I
lot of people who
love it.
do not like beet juice.
Oh.
They also will help release the stagnant emotional energy that you have in your spleen too. So it'll help with those that overthinking and that worrying that you get
Mm,
when you start to clean out your spleen. So
hmm I had a lot of that in my life. Just the overthinking.
yeah,
Overthinking. Hmm
yeah.
A lot of
So
mm,
yeah, and you can just take beets, you guys, and cut them up and put them in a salad. They taste fantastic. They really don't taste like anything when you put them in a salad and you mix them with everything.
delicious. Or shave them, have them crunchy through a salad. Like,
Yeah,
how you do with
yeah,
carrot.
yes,
Yum.
yes, yes. I like I buy a beet in a container at a health store. It's sauerkraut. They're fermented. I just eat
Even
them like
better.
this. I know. It's pickled beets are the best.
That's even better for your body. Pickled.
Oh, so much better. So much better. I know because I play video games, Kingdom Hearts, and they always talk about the heart on the game, how your hearts are connected to one another. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. I kind of like some of these video games because they're really helping people understand this whole etheric world that we talk about.
Good.
I
Good.
mean, I don't play video games myself. I'm not going to get into the colon. We only have like 6 minutes left. Um,
We didn't
oh,
do the
maybe.
gallbladder.
Okay, yeah, let's get the gallbladder done real quick.
I feel like the gallbladder is very important because it really
Oh, the
does have
gallbladder is so important.
a lot of significance in our body. Um, and your gallbladder is a very powerful yin channel inside your body, which is which in Chinese medicine is spiritual. So it's a very spiritual organ inside your body, your gallbladder. Like when they do acupuncture on you, which is all, it is kind of spiritual, but it's based on your meridian, which is your energy that runs inside your body with your stomach channels. But the gallbladder is like, that's the one they really love to like listen to if your gallbladder is working or not, and like that kind of tells them like where your energy is sitting at is how your gallbladder pulses inside your body. So your liver
The
and your
gallbladder, yeah, the gallbladder is the one that I probably have had the most hardest time with. I had gallbladder stones. Oh, the gallbladder has been so challenging for me to detox, but I did it. I got it. I had those flukes that I know they were going in between my liver and the gallbladder. I got those out, and it's been a game changer for me for sure. My gallbladder is, I know it's just thanking me all the time. Oh, thank you for getting those critters out.
That's good.
Um, so the gallbladder stores and releases your bio, you guys. So for people who've had their gallbladder out, I just think that is so crazy because now you just took out the thing that literally
Regulates.
regulates and filters your bio. It's just I don't I need to do the research and find out where it goes when you don't have a gallbladder.
I think it just goes back into the liver or something.
I think so. I think the liver, it makes the liver work twice as hard.
I think that's what
That's
the
what I
problem
think.
with
Hmm.
liver work, and that's why it can't, like some foods and stuff you eat, your body doesn't, it can't process it, and you'll vomit, or you just get real bad diarrhea, and that's because it just goes back into the liver. Your liver has to work harder. It can't filter things the same, so it just puts the whole digestive system kind of like off, where it's not working properly. But I know a few people who don't have gallbladders. One lady I know that has no gallbladder, she, on her drive to work in the morning, which takes about, 45 minutes to an hour, she has to take like 3 pairs of panties just in case her gallbladder just, she can't eat anything oily. Otherwise she gets full diarrhea. She cannot gain weight whatsoever. She
Because
used to
they
be,
can't process fats. They can't
yeah,
process fats the same.
yeah. So, yeah. The gallbladder, but that's the one. That's the one that I remember so much in my acupunctures. They're always like, "Oh, the gallbladder. Oh, the gallbladder. It's not running properly. You know, your spiritual side is not running properly inside you." But
Yeah, the gallbladder is a very important little thing, and it's very tiny. It is the tiniest organ you have.
Mhm.
It just sits right above the liver. It's real small. The liver's like
Yeah,
they'll show the liver real big when you see a picture, and then there's a little itty tiny, tiny, tiny little thing, and it's called the gallbladder. It's very powerful.
and it helps regulate the liver. So yeah, gallbladder. I have here frustration and resentment and being overwhelmed is what the gallbladder, the emotions that it processes and the and respond to trauma is frustration, resentment, and being overwhelmed
Yeah,
for the
that sounds
gallbladder.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, emotional and spiritual wisdom from I got Chinese, Ayurvedic, and nation and the native tradition is what I got. Yeah, the same thing you said.
That's
Um, it supports the digestion of fats and fat solubles and vitamins. That's why if you have it taken out, you're not going to be able to have big fatty meals anymore.
mm-hmm.
It helps absorb
Or,
the vitamin A, D, E, and K,
mm-hmm.
which is vital for your immunity, skin, eyes, and brain.
Mm-hmm.
So they take that gallbladder, there's gonna, you've got to reroute your body. You really do. You've got to do a lot of healing in different ways so that your body can, and you're gonna have to eat differently
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
because it is your cholesterol. It's what, determines your cholesterol. Um, and like she said, it governs your decision making, your courage, and your assertiveness, your
Mm-hmm.
boldness, and when it's out of balance, you're undecisive, you're timid,
Mm-hmm.
you resent everything. So those are the signs that when your gallbladder is out of balance. And to balance it, the gallbladder, turmeric with pepper,
Mm-hmm.
aloe vera,
Mm-hmm.
coriander, bitter greens, all of those things are going to be so good for your gallbladder. Uh, oh, there's so much stuff for the gallbladder, you guys. Cloves, um, especially leafy greens, chlorophyll, um,
Yep.
all of that stuff. Yeah. And again, beet juice is going to be another one, and celery juice.
Mm. Yeah.
So there's a lot of herbs and a lot of good stuff out there that helps benefit the gallbladder. That's very simple. Um,
And of course,
dandelion, yeah,
you want
dandelion, arugula, lemon, all of this stuff is just so grapefruits. Oh my gosh, grapefruits and malic acid will clear out if you have any stones. That's what I used to get rid of my stones. I used olive oil,
olive oil. Yep.
dandelion root,
Mm-hmm.
um, grapefruit, lemons, and what else was there? Castor oil packs I used. Yep, those were the things. That's how I got rid of my gallbladder. It was mainly the malic acid and the
Mm-hmm.
grapefruit. Yeah, the malic and the grapefruits, the lemons, the beet. That really got rid of the kidney stones.
Okay.
Gallbladder. I'm sorry, gallbladder. Bladder. I had gallbladder stones and I had kidney stones, you guys, and I had fatty liver. I had it all. All my organs were all so screwed up. I was so off balance. I don't even know how I showed up.
Same. I don't know how I'm still alive. I don't know how your body. It's funny because when I was with my partner, my ex, he used to always say to me, "Oh, you have an iron stomach," because I can eat a lot of spicy foods and like not
Same.
have full diarrhea and stuff. And he'd be like, "You have an iron stomach," and like now I'm like, I actually did have an iron stomach because it literally was like hard like iron, like from all the
Yeah,
crap in my
yeah.
life. It was
All the
like a
critters in
frog.
there, man. Yeah. And Victor, your mom had her gallbladder taken out 2006. That could have contributed to a lot of her problems.
Yep.
I feel that Western medicine, there was like a time when it was in fashion. You had something going on, take the gallbladder, take the gallbladder. Like I I remember, gosh, this was probably in 2006 when they were taking all my family's gallbladders out. My aunt had a gallbladder. She came to visit me. Then she calls me like 2 weeks later and she's like, "Oh, Mija, guess what? We got so sick of my gallbladder. They had to take it." That was back in 2006. I'm telling you, it was a fashion for them.
So bad. They're probably
So
just
bad.
experimenting to see, oh, how's this going to go in so many years' time. I feel like it's not. I don't know how you can keep living and be healthy and functioning as you get older without a gallbladder. Like I don't, because my gallbladder was like that's one of the organs that was really, really, really like stagnated and stuck, and
Just
my body,
blocked. Yeah, mine was
yeah,
blocked and stuck.
way too much heavy metals. It's just the bile wasn't flowing. I had too
Uh-huh.
much bile for it. Like it was insane. But I can't imagine not having if that's how my gallbladder is with it in there. I can't imagine taking it out and how my body's going to be if it's already in this state with a sick gallbladder. Like get the gallbladder better, not take it out. Because how am I? Where's the bile? How's it all going to work in there? Like it makes
Oh,
no sense.
they make it sound like, oh, it's no big deal. You don't. I've heard it. I've heard from doctors themselves said, oh, you don't need your gallbladder. What do you mean?
No.
They take your spleen too.
Yeah.
They'll take your
I,
spleen.
I
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
I don't.
I know lots of people who've had their spleen and they go hand to hand. They take the spleen and they take the gallbladder out.
I don't know how that would work. Like don't you need those things to like be healthy and functioning? Your spiritual part of your body would have to like your would have to cut like extremely. Like you wouldn't have the same spiritual awareness without those organs, I feel like too. Because they in Chinese medicine they're considered like they're yin channels. So you need those channels. You need them strong and healthy for a good spiritual flow inside you too. And you need those organs to be running smoothly. But if you cut them out, then what does that say for you? Like,
Well, they're cutting you from your life force. They're cutting you. That's
yeah,
part of the. That's the program. That's part of their system to do this to us. And I'm sure Victor. He said that his mom lived 19 years without her gallbladder. So I'm sure he'll be reflecting back. Oh my gosh, when that happened, how much did she change after that? How did she not come back being herself again?
yeah.
So Victor will be able to look at this. I mean, this whole segment is about keeping your organs safe and healthy so that they don't let them take these from you.
Mm-hmm.
So
So that
we
spirit
we
can
are,
thrive better.
huh?
So that your spirit can thrive better too. Your
Yeah.
spiritual awareness and everything can just flow and work better because your organs are working at the best of their ability, helping you, everything. Like it all goes hand in hand. Whatever is physical is spiritual. It's spiritual, there's a physical element. If you
It,
spiritually get sick, it will manifest in a physical way
yes,
through your organs. So it all goes hand in hand.
it
Keeping your
does. It's all friends. It all speaks to
yeah,
each other. It all talks.
yeah.
Okay, we're going a little bit over, but I just wanted to make a couple announcements. For anyone who wants to hear me continue to go, yeah, 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 and talk all this stuff, I will be back again tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in the morning with Julie, Love Roy Warriors, and we do a live show at 8 o'clock again on YouTube and Facebook and stuff. But YouTube's the main one that I just like to talk about because everyone's plugged into YouTube University. Um, and I don't know what we'll be talking about. We'll just probably continue talking about these organs. And we'll be talking a little bit. I think I'm going to get a little bit political tomorrow with what's going on with around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into that and see what we can all come out regarding, come up with what's going on with around the world because that would be kind of a good topic
Especially
for
LA.
tomorrow. Huh?
LA, your front door. You're
I know.
you know,
I'm not from LA. I'm from Orange County, but
no,
I
but
did
you're
grow up in
close
LA.
to
Yeah. They're neighbors. They're friends.
yeah, you're close to LA.
So Victor, thank you guys for tuning in. And Victor, thanks for all of your comments and engaging with us. We love it when you do that and we miss you. And please, if you need anything, we're here for you. I'm glad you hooked up with the other Victor because I think he's going to be able to help you a lot. You guys are in the same vibration. You both have autism. So you guys can understand each other in a way that someone like Ann and I can't. We just, we try to empathize with you
I feel
guys.
like they're telepathic with each other. I have a
I
friend
know. I know.
that can be telepathic, and Victor in Sweden can really like be telepathic with Victor in America.
I know, I know. We gotta try to get them to come on here live. Wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be so
Let,
much fun.
let us know, Victor, how you feel about that. And I know the other Victor will be from Sweden will be on my live tomorrow morning because he's always on my Tuesday morning live. So Victor, message us and let us know what you think about coming on here live for a little bit with the other Victor and let's see what happens. That'd be a lot of fun.
It'd be so much fun.
That would be. That would be. Okay, well, good night, you guys, and thanks for tuning in. And we will be back again next Monday, American Monday and Australia Tuesday. Bye.
Yep.
Love and light.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.